meditation. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Yeah, so we all settle ourselves down to 5 minutes meditation before I start the talk. So you just sit down with your back erect. Put your mindfulness before you. Forget about the world. Then go to your breath. Breathe in. Breathing in, you know you are breathing in. So the emphasis is that you know you are breathing. Breathing out. You know you are breathing out. Breathing in, you experience the entire process, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Breathing out, you experience the entire breathing out process. The beginning, middle, and end. Breathing in, calm. Breathing out, calm. So the breath is a very nice place to be. And the breath is your best friend. This best friend will be with you till you die. True? So slowly feel the seat. Feel your entire body. And then slowly open your eyes. Some of you not ready to come out, huh? Right. So there's the topics that are supposed to be put up. The slide. Do you want to just put it up? So how I get these collected discourses. So we know that there are different Nikayas. So we have the Majjhima Nikaya, we have the Digha Nikaya, and Anguttara Nikaya, and the collected discourses, Samyutta Nikaya. So what I did for this conceit is that I look at the index of all these Nikayas, and then I just find the pages. Then I just write all what the Buddha discoursed in a book. And after I wrote it down, then I decided how I want to make the flow for this talk. So, so this is the suttas that I want to talk about, conceit as discoursed by the Buddha. So these are discourses that you can read. As you know that sometimes one discourse takes a day, but now we are going to gallop through, okay? So I'm going to tell you the essence of each talk. So AN 6.106, Tanha. So when Anguttara Nikaya, 6 means book of 6. When there's 6, that means there's 6 points. Book of 1 means there's 1 point that the Buddha will emphasize, and so on and so forth. So there are 6, and this title is Craving. So what did the Buddha say in this sutta? He says that there are 3 cravings and 3 conceits. So the first craving is craving for sensual pleasures. called Kama Tanha. You heard of Makan Sutra? So this one is called Kama Tanha. Means it's also like Makan Sutra. Enjoy your food. Singaporeans enjoy your food, right? Later, okay, afterwards, you can enjoy the food outside. So sensual pleasures, the tongue, then the eyes, the ears, the nose, the body. The sensual pleasures, that means the 5 cords of sense pleasures. Kama Tanha, then we have Bhava Tanha. If the experience is good, would you like to have it again? If your vacation is good, you want to go back there again? Right, huh? So we want to have another experience. Another thing is that if you think that Bhava Tanha is becoming, then you wish for the future. That means you're always planning for the future. There's this search, looking for the future. So this Bhava Tanha. Then we have Vibhava Tanha. Vibhava Tanha is, I don't like it. And the extreme of it is euthanasia. So you have euthanasia for animals, and you have euthanasia for humans too. So it is like, I don't want it. I don't like this existence anymore. So I want to do myself in. So you heard about euthanasia, right? Okay. So it's based on this Vibhava Tanha. Then the Buddha went on to say there are 3 conceits. And what are the 3 conceits? He says there's this conceit, just itself, conceit. And then you have inferiority complex. What is inferiority complex? Have you ever feel inferior? Have you have loss of confidence? So have you become depressed because of loss of function? No, we have seen people with strokes and then they feel very depressed because they cannot use their limbs anymore, right? Or people have accidents, they have like paralysis. They can't move their arms and legs, they can't go get their things. All these pleasures you go and get, right? You go and search, you go and stick to it. But then now you cannot do the things. So there is this depression. Or you feel very little, that you cannot perform. Nowadays, the youngs are very attached to their handphones, not because the handphone is it's just an object, but what is in there. So they are much taken by the social media and how the rest of the world view them. So when they being sort of like say something about them, then they really feel very small. And when they feel very small, they just sort of hate themselves. And what do when they hate themselves? They jump or whatever. They take an overdose. So there's a lot of suicides, right, in the young. And so this is inferiority complex, which is associated with Vibhava Tanha. The Vibhava Tanha. You can see the association. Why did he connect? There is a connection between craving and conceit. Then we have the superiority complex, arrogant. So we are the best, right? Singapore is the best, right? Number 1. And then the schools also number 1. What else number 1? Arrogance number 1. Right. So arrogance, so when you're arrogant, the problem is you see others no up. That's a problem, right? When you're arrogant, you cannot see the others' views. So when you're arrogant, there is a problem. Or you may look down on others, right? So this is very closely associated, craving and conceit. And we all have conceit. Every one of us have conceit. Because only the Arahant don't have conceit. So we have to also recognize ourselves, right, in our cravings and our conceit. So then, only when we recognize the craving and conceit, then we will be able to do or try to practice what the Buddha said. Abandon cravings, abandon the 3 kinds of cravings, abandon the 3 kinds of conceit, then you would have end suffering. Because it's not only craving, right? I am having the craving. So I am having the craving, so the problem is I and mine. So this is the first thought. So then the first thought define for you what is conceit. Okay? Then we go to the second thought. The second thought is called Samidhi, SN 1.20. Samidhi. Now, Samidhi was a young monk, right? Huh? And he was staying, and the Buddha was staying at Rajagaha in the hot springs, near the hot springs. And Samidhi one day went to the hot spring for a bath, and he came out, and then he has a rope on him. Later on, there's this deva of stunning beauty, beyond imagination. And it lights up the whole hot springs. Can you imagine? It lights up the whole hot spring. And then tells Samidhi, you are young. Enjoy sense pleasures, enjoy human sense pleasures. You can see directly what are sense pleasures, enjoy them. Don't waste time. Don't take time to do the practice. And then how did Samidhi reply? The deva of stunning beauty, he said, the Buddha says, that sense pleasures are time-consuming, and that the sense pleasures are suffering, a lot of danger in it. And he says that now I am directly experiencing the Dhamma. I do not want to pursue something that consumes time. So we read and chanted just now, right? Sanditiko, akaliko, ehipasiko, opanayiko, pachatam veditabu vinuhiti. So the Dhamma can be directly seen. It can be directly experienced. So he is not wasting time. He is using his time rightly. Then the Deva said, what does this mean? Then Samidhi says, I am also a newbie. I'm newly ordained. Says, only the Buddha will know. Let's go and see the Buddha. So then the Deva say, the Buddha is always surrounded by all these powerful devas surrounding him, no? Like people, choke the best seats first, right? Yeah. So he says, it's very hard for me to go to see the Buddha. Then he says, you come along, yeah? You come along with Samidhi. So devas also need humans. And vice versa. Huh? So then Samidhi went to the Buddha and paid respects to him and recounted the conversation with the Deva. And then the Buddha said, is the Deva here? Oh, he must be, the Deva must be here. Then the Deva said, I'm here. And then the Buddha then discoursed. So we now know Satta Deva Manusanam. The Buddha is a teacher of gods and men. Okay, so this is a teaching to the gods and men. So what did the Buddha says? Oh, already, I must sit down, I think. So he says that beings who perceive what can be expressed, beings who perceive what can be expressed, then they become established in what can be expressed. You see something nice, you established with what can be expressed. Not knowing exactly what can be expressed. Oh, okay. Not knowing what can be expressed, then one come under the Mr. Death. Because you get caught up with it, with what can be expressed. So we ask the Deva, you understand not? You understand not? So you don't understand, right? Okay, same as the Deva. So he says, well, so the one who conceives, one who don't conceive, or one who knows what it is, will not be taken by what is expressed. He would not also say that the one who understands, one who expresses. He would not say one who expresses, because he has seen there is no one. Right. And so he says then, the Buddha then on to say, one who conceives, I am equal, I am better, I am worse, has this self there, right? So you have this formation there, this self, me, my, I. So you are not without discriminations of this. You have these discriminations. So when you have these discriminations of I, me, and mine, then Mara will be able to see you. Because you have formed those I, me, mine, there is, you can be seen. So, but then if there is no I, me, mine, you cannot be seen. So then he says that only when you do not have this I, me, mine, then you will be free. And the devas and humans cannot see you, neither can Mara see you. This is my word, not the Buddha's. Mara can't see you too, because devas and humans can't see you in any realm. Because once you have an eye, no matter how small the eye, there's a formation there. That formation there, this eye can be seen. But once the formation of eye is not there, it cannot be seen. So we all can be seen. People can knock you, okay? So this is what the Buddha told the Deva and Samiti. And he said that, well, do you understand? Now, do you understand? So, you see, the Deva then replied. He says that avoid evil through body, speech, and mind. Bodily actions of evil by body, speech, and mind. Abandon sense pleasures, so he has learned already. Then with mindfulness and clear comprehension, pursue a cause that does not bring pain and suffering. So the Deva have understood that. So beginning it says, enjoy yourself, eat, drink, and be merry for, we don't know about tomorrow. But then after he listened to the Buddha, she then said, or the Deva said, that abandon sense pleasures. Abandon sense pleasures, be mindful and clearly comprehend. Comprehend and know what course of action you are going to take, whether it will bring you suffering or not. So when you are wise, you know you will not take a course which causes suffering for yourself, for another, for both, or for the world. So this is the wise person with wisdom. Right. So this is the second discourse. Okay? Okay. So the third discourse is Rahula, rid of conceit. These three, Rahula, Radha, and Surada, they are the same. The contents are the same. So we have said about conceit. And then in the first we said abandon conceit. Then we say that the second one is that why we need to abandon conceit, right? Huh? If you don't abandon conceit, you'll be suffering. Then we have this Rahula, Radha, and Surada. These three are monks, and this sutta, similar sort of essence. So we all say conceit. Then the three of them, individually by themselves, approach the Buddha, exchange greetings, and ask individually how to abandon conceit. Of course, they never so pointedly and said how to get rid of it. But he says it in a very comprehensive way. He says, how do we know? How do we know? And how do we see that you get rid of this conceit? But regarding with this body, with the consciousness, and with regard to external signs. With regard to this body and with external signs. Then the Buddha then says, regarding form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So what is this 5 aggregates? 5 aggregates. So we have form, we have feeling, we have perception, we have mental formation. This is what Dr. Sen writing is supposed to be. Now you only see all these Microsoft words. They look quite unhuman. This is more human. Okay, form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. This is you and I. We have a form. And we have feelings, we have perceptions, and we think mental formations, and we have consciousness. So, such is form. Okay, so you see the flame here? Such is the flame. Am I allowed to take? Okay, you all can see, right? This flame here. Right, okay, this is the flame. Okay, if a strong wind, then it will go this way. But whatever this flame, this is the form. Right, this form, such is its arising and such is its ending when you blow on it. There are many forms, like sounds. Wow, doesn't click. Okay, so you see that ooh sound also went. Just now you chanted, right? Namo also went. Then you smell and you taste. Whatever you have eaten has gone. What's the taste in your mouth? It arises and gone. So such is form, and such is its arising, and such is its vanishing. Depending on the context, you have a feeling, you have a perception, you have mental formation, and consciousness about it. Consciousness is just the car, Consciousness is just the car. What drives consciousness is ignorance and intentions. So in the 12DO, we have ignorance, intentions or sankhara, mental formation, and then consciousness. So it's the third place, It's not the driver. So when people tell you consciousness is forever, you have to think about dependent origination. Consciousness, mind, body, six sense base, contact. Then contact, you have feeling, you have craving, clinging, becoming, birth, and then bad and sad. Birth, aging, disease, death. Sadness, agitation, despair, depression, DDD. Okay, not AAA. Okay. So, you see, this consciousness is just the vehicle, your car, right? Don't care what car, just your car. And then what drives this car, this consciousness, is the ignorance got a big I, and the intention got another big I. I drives it. I drive the consciousness. I go and get my makan. Okay, I go and get my dress. I go and get my house. I. Right. But then the Buddha says, this I, the five aggregates, arise and cease, arise and cease. This I is teluk, no? Your marks is teluk, no? Teluk. Zero. Arise and cease, ma. Can you see the steam from whatever your hot drink or whatever from the kettle? It's like that. Like something, but it's gone already. You put your hand there, you get burned. You cling, you get burned. So the thing here is there's this form, feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness. This we are. You know, conventionally, there is this form. You peel off the skin, you can see all the changes, right? So whatever is, how much good food you eat, how much exercise you do, you also die. All share the same, right? We all have the same quality of existence. All existences, you know, from the human realm, from the lower realm, from the higher realms, all have this function of arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. That there is nothing down there, nothing substantial there. So if you think you have a lot of money, then you got a lot of zero. Then you put a one there, 1 million, 1 billion, what thing, cryptocurrency should wipe up. Fast or not? Digital, right? So it's the same thing. It's actually zero. You go and put I there, then it will be a lot of samsara suffering, right? So here we say this form, feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness. I like this, no? I like this acronym. It's PICS. And why is it PICS? Because in the past, these five aggregates arise and cease. It arises and ceases in the present. And the future also arise and cease. And whether it's internal or external. Tell me where got anything permanent one? Internal, external. Far or near? Even the galaxy is changing, right? Far and near, all these change. Gross or subtle? Okay, very subtle, gross, or superior or inferior. It all arises and ceased. So in terms of time, place, characteristics, it is bubble. The Buddha says it's a bubble. The form is like a bubble, like he said foam. Feeling is like a raindrop. Pop, pop, pop. Have you seen raindrops? There's this song, raindrops keep falling on my head. Have you? This is the old song. Pop, pop. It's gone. Feeling is just for the moment only. And then we die for our feelings, right? We are so emotional. If so emotional, then die lah. You know what to do? Because you're so emotional. Right? So feelings is raindrops only. Perceptions is a mirage. Okay? That means it's actually it's just an imagination and illusion. And mental formations is a empty banana trunk. There's no hardwood inside. Then consciousness is a magician. It has to be right. You have to go and make all these six sense base and see and come up with something, right? So it's a magician. So all this scam us. So we are our biggest scam. So when you say conceit, this conceit means con. You're being conned. You're being conned, You're being conned. So is this conceit, right? You are being conned by yourself. And that this, because we conceive, we engage, and then get remarried to I, me, mine. Totally conceit. This is how doctors learn how to remember all the details. Because we can't figure, so many things, we must make some funny things so we can remember. So this is the 5 aggregates. Arise and cease, nothing there. Arise and cease, nothing there. True or not? So you have the Heart Sutra, right? You all know the Heart Sutra, generally, yeah? So generally, the Heart Sutra says that if you want to be contented, then you look at the 5 aggregates as empty. If we say form, feeling, perception, so we have a formula, right? For those people who love formula, formations and consciousness. If this formula says is 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 is 0, right? So they say emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. Feelings are emptiness. Feeling, like we all say, raindrop, nothing there, right? So you say that there is nothing. But we all say that there is something. Because we see this as very substantial. This is the problem. And then when we see this as very substantial in terms of time and place and characteristics, then we will be conned into me, I, and mine. When this is just nature, we are just an organism, like an amoeba, moving in the environment, and then we are contacting all this because we have this mind and body. We are in constant contact with external, and internal. External, and then we internalize the external. Then we think that there is something, and then we started creating a lot of formations. So he says, the Buddha says to these 3 monks, he says that these 5 aggregates in all this time is impermanent, suffering, and what is suffering is not fit to be called mind, I, self. Okay, yeah. So that is for Rahula, for Radha, and Surada. For Radha and Surada, they went away And then apparently, not long after, they became arahants, right? Rahula also became an arahant, but much later at another discourse. Okay, simile of the snake. So we have this simile of the snake. So we all know the snake, right? If you're a snake catcher, or you are the snake, I don't know which one. So if you are the snake catcher, you're a snake catcher, then you catch the snake in the proper way, right? But then if you're a snake, you see whether you are wily enough to get out or not. So which one would you like to be, the snake catcher or the snake? So here we all say this already. So why it follows with this? So he says, if all these things are not actually existing, agree not, all these things are not in existence. So why get agitated? So in this simile of the snake, under the agitation, the sutta is quite long, but under the agitation, there is this sentence that says, why do we get agitated with things that don't exist? True or not? Do they exist? Why do we get agitated when they do not exist? Internally, as the 5 aggregates, or externally also? Why do we get agitated? So if we get agitated, then we will be the snake, go and look, and hunt, right, for things, to search for things. So then he says, you must see it very clearly, the 5 aggregates, as empty, and that you should not get agitated by these non-existent things. Then by seeing this, then you will be able to grasp the Dhamma correctly. This is then the way to not hold on to the snake in the wrong way. You use the forms, you use it, this is the things to be used, just use it. So the Buddha in the second discourse will tell you how to use things simply, and then don't use excessively, just use them. So that's why we need to go green. Okay, so that is, where is the, I don't want me. Okay, affection. So this sutta is affection. The affection, it says that, so the problem is we all have affection. We are very attached. So, but he says, don't pick up. He says, don't pick up form. He says, you have to avoid picking up. Pick up what? He says, pick up form as self, and self as form. He says, don't pick up feelings. Don't go and pick up feelings, no. Don't like the supermarket, pick up. Pick up form, pick up feelings as self, as I, as mine. They don't pick up this form as self and self as form. And the feelings, perception, mental formation, consciousness, don't pick them up as the self. Don't pick it up as self. If you don't pick them up as self, and then you don't think you are in, form is in self. Self is in form. I am in myself. So he says, don't think of form in self, or self in form, or feelings. I have these feelings in me. I must get it out. Right. So feelings in self, perceptions in self, mental formations in self, as self and consciousness. So this is the picking up. If we pick up, then we will suffer. That form itself, that the 5 aggregates as self, and self as the 5 aggregates. And these 5 aggregates is in the self, and the self in the 5 aggregates. If you have this view, then it will be like picking up the snake and it will bite you. Pick up the snake wrongly. So he says, don't pick up in this way. Then you will not fume and you will not ruminate. The great law. So we talk about the 5 aggregates. Now we talk about the 6 sense bases. So the 6 sense bases are your internal sense bases, your eye, nose, tongue, ears, body, right, and your mind base. Then we also say that these sense objects outside have a corresponding sense objects outside. These are all part of form. Agree? Yeah, form. So he says that this form is also arise and cease, arise and cease. Right. You will not live forever. I can guarantee you this. Right, yeah? So this form, we do not want to hold on to these things. Then he says, as he then go to the last sutta, the great lord. So he was at 𝐾𝐭𝐳, by the Ganges River. Then he saw a great lord, and he told the bhikkhus, you look at this great lord, along the Ganges River, it will flow to the ocean. So the noble one also can flow to the ocean of Nibbana. He says, provided these conditions are met. What are these conditions? He says that, so you have this great lord. Move, okay. I can turn this one, right? Okay. Okay, well, this great lord, he says this great lord will flow to the ocean. He says that if you do not vow by the near shore, this near shore is in this 6 sense-based internal. You all know what they are already, right? We say I, all that. Then if it doesn't get stuck by this bank, that means we don't sort of get stuck here. We get so attached to ourselves, we don't get stuck here. We might get stuck in the far shore. What are the far shore? So these are the 6 sense-based external. That means it's the objects. So what are the objects? What are your cravings? What are your objects? Tell me. Wealth, yes. Then, so we might be just, working for it, right? The whole life. What other things? Huh? Oh, loved one. Okay. So we have multiple. So if you get attached, so you get the lock gets stuck here. You either get stuck here or stuck there. Okay, so you may be just stuck like that, no? True or not? You might just get stuck there. Money not enough, they all keep thinking, investments, etc. Then they have no time to practice, because the whole time is spent practicing on making money, right? Time consuming, right? So then we have come to we might just sink. He said you might just sink. Why you sink? He says delight and lust. You might just sink because you lust something so much, you just sink inside. Delighting and lusting. So you can think of delighting and lusting, you just sink. So there are many unwholesome deeds from lusting, right, in the world. They just sink in. Okay, nowadays there's a lot of problems. Then they lust after it. They just sink into it, the ocean, the river. They sink. They haven't gone. This one didn't go to the ocean. Just sink in the river, right? Then he says the log might just go up on the high ground. The high ground. That means somewhere in the river there is a sort of a mound. Then the log goes up to the mound and then gets stuck there. So this mound is conceit. He says, I'm the most powerful, I'm the most rich, I'm the richest, I'll control the world. I want to think of this, that, the whole day and night thinking of all this. So it gets stuck there because of I, me, and mine. So conceit. Then he says, or you might get taken by humans. Humans you get very attached to humans. So you'll be taken by humans. Or you'll be taken by, then the river runs like this. And it's taken by non-humans. And what is non-humans? Here, the non-humans are not those scary, spooky things. These non-humans is that you want to go to Deva realm. You want to go to that particular Deva realm. You know there are people who wants to go to a certain realm. They pray to get to a certain realm. Okay, in the higher Deva realm. And they look forward to it. So their whole life is spent purchasing this, pursuing, not purchasing, pursuing this. Purchase also can, because, because they spend time, right, doing it. So these non-humans means they want to be rejoining that Deva, that realm, they believe to be there. Then they might be sunk in whirlpool. Whirlpool. This whirlpool is sense pleasures. They are sunk in the sense pleasures. Or that the log become rotten. Rotten within. Because full of evil. Rotten within. You know, do bodily, verbal, mental, unwholesome deeds. They become very rotten within. So this will not get to the ocean. So he says that we have a human body and a human mind. It's considered, a very precious human life because it's like right in the middle of the lower and the higher realms, and we can see the sufferings in this human realm. And we see the suffering and we know the cause of the suffering. As the Buddha discoursed, it's because of craving and conceit, right? And then if this is the cause of suffering, then you have to stop it. You have to walk the Noble Eightfold Path. So we have to practice this Noble Eightfold Path to realize Nibbana. And these are the things that hold us, or we are the one grasping. So he tells us that these are the way, the Four Noble Truths is the way to understand and know for yourself that you do not want to suffer again and again. So you say, once bitten, twice shy, right? Bite again, what is it? You have this saying, right? Once bitten, twice shy. What's the following? I don't know. It's huh? Oh. Okay. So whatever it is, we have to back up. Right. So this, I think all about the conceit. Okay, I mean, these are some of the discourses that I sort of like pick up to just share about conceit, the definition, and then what to do, what's the cause, what's the reason that there is this conceit, and how to view it, and how to know the dangers of being caught up in our six sense bases, in our five aggregates, okay, being attached to humans or non-humans, that we can get rotted within or get in the sink down in lust or in the whirlpool. So these are the teachings, and the Buddha is the guide. So it's individually we have to practice, and then so that we end suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Huh? Oh, upatissa. Okay. Upatissa is Venerable Sariputta. So his name is Upatissa. And then his family name is Sariputta. Sariputta, Putta means child. Sari means child of the Sari. Sari, mother. Okay, I think the Indians got it right, Putta Sari, child of the mother. We all should have the surname, child of the mother. Nowadays, better, right? Child of the mother, because some mothers have different fathers. The child have different, you don't know. But then you say it's the child of the mother. It's true, right? Isn't it? So anyway, I thought when I read that, when I see this, Upatissa is my name, and then my monks know me as Sariputta. Then it's like your name, your first name, and then your last name. Then I say, oh, they are very advanced, Sariputta. So your surname, the mother's surname, I think that's it. Okay, so we say Upatissa. So Upatissa is Sariputta, the second right-hand man of the Buddha, the wisest of them. Okay? So he is foremost in wisdom. So Upatissa or Sariputta was in seclusion, in meditation. Then he actually out of the seclusion, he reflected. He says, is there anything or anybody of which if it changes and alters, will I be sad, sorrow, despair? And then he scanned. And then he truthfully says to himself, there is no one in the world, anywhere, any place, that he will be sad if that being changes and alters. So this Venerable Ananda said, even the Buddha, if the Buddha have any changes, you won't feel sad? And Sariputta said, yes, I won't feel sad. It's that the Buddha would live long, it will benefit others, the welfare and happiness of many. But the Buddha, will also die. So the Venerable Ananda then say to him, then you must have rooted out. That means pull up, uprooted mind-making, I-making for a long time, that he has uprooted this I-making. We're always making I, ma. And then we're all saying mind, ma. So this I-making and mind-making have been uprooted by Venerable Sariputta for a long time. So it says the benefits of uprooting conceit, of uprooting I, me, and mine. So this is the declaration of Venerable Sariputta, who says that he's no longer have I-making, mind-making. Right? So his end of suffering. So that's 𝐸𝑑𝑑𝑐𝑡. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ng.
Any questions?
Yep.
Yes.
Questions?
Thanks, Dr. Ng, for very profound teaching in a simple way. So, can I ask Dr. Ng, like, if our eyes see a flower, and we know that it's a beautiful flower,
Yes.
maybe Dr. Ng can describe step by step which one is the form, feeling, mental formation, perception, and consciousness.
Okay. Easier lah. I think my drawing not very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see this flower. You can see because your eyes are functioning, right? If you take off your glasses, you might see it blur, right? But as long as you have an eye that is functioning, that is the eye base, the eye base. Then you have this object. Okay, this is an object, the flower, right? This is also a flower, right? So you see this flower and you see this flower, right? There are two flowers. These are the objects. This is your sight objects, right? So we have the eye, the sense base internal, and then the sense base external. You are conscious now, right? Are you conscious?
I am, but maybe in the Dhamma word, I might not be understanding.
No, nothing. This one, you are same one. In the hospital, people ask you are conscious. Ask you a question, you must reply. You cannot say, okay, never mind.
Is the Vijnana or the aware?
Okay. So the thing, the Buddha only says the sixth sense base is sixth sense internal and sixth sense external and sixth sense consciousness. Okay, sixth sense consciousness. So when we say we are conscious, means we are not sleeping, we are not drowsy, we are not under any influence of anything, we are alert. So we have this consciousness, okay? We have this consciousness, so it's the I consciousness that you appreciate. It's not your ear consciousness, no? It's not your nose consciousness, no? It's not your tongue consciousness, no? It's not your body consciousness. But these five faculties have different domains and different resorts. But they all resort to the mind, right? The mind will interpret this, the sense consciousness, the I consciousness. So this I consciousness then contact the two objects. Okay, so you have these two, so that it's the contact is the three things that come together. You must be conscious, right? Agree to appreciate this. Now no more already, right? Now at my back already, yeah. So you are conscious that it's left here. Okay, conscious, right? Conscious means you know. So we might not use conscious, we say you know, right? Like I said, you know your breath in. You must know your breath out. Because in knowing, you are conscious. Okay, so we all agree that the I consciousness needs to be there. Okay, so now what is the feeling? The arising of feeling, what is the arising of feeling? Is it pleasant? Okay, this one first. Is it pleasant? How many marks you give?
Maybe 3.
3 marks. The rest, they will be very disappointed that the person who prepared this flower.
No, we just try to differentiate the two.
Okay.
So we can understand better.
Okay, so the feeling, is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Unpleasant, 3 is?
Maybe it can be upekkha.
Upekkha, okay.
Somanasa, okay. Not domanasa, upekkha.
Okay, so neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Okay, so it's neither pleasant nor. So this is the feeling. So what is this perception? This perception got yellow, got pink. Okay, the perception, this is a flower. Okay, the perception.
Perception is the telling that it is a flower, is it?
Yes, this perception. Is the flower. Perception is, this is a flower. Damn it like that. So perception is this perception of this flower, right? Then you now have thoughts about this flower. What do you think about this flower? Nothing? Something?
Maybe after we see there is a flower, there's another information come. Oh, one is not that beautiful, the other one is more beautiful. What is this? Is it called Vedana or not? Is it Vedana?
This Vedana is just pleasant, unpleasant, or neither. So the feeling, the Vedana is neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Okay? All right. Perception is, this is the form, this is this form with the yellow, red.
So if this is beautiful and not beautiful, what is this called? Is it perception or mental formation?
Thoughts. Judgment now. So thoughts. So this is beautiful or not. You score 3, so not beautiful, right? 3, so how? And change your mind?
So when there is a perception,
okay,
it will come together the Vedana, the feeling of Somanasa, Domanasa, or Upekkha come together when there is a perception. Is it correct?
Perception is by perception. So if you take it purely, it is just red, yellow, or that. The thoughts is a sankhara. Thoughts is sankhara. Sankhara means cook. All these things into form. Sankhara, no? Kara. Sankhara. So you make something, you think about it. So when you just see this thing, it's just a flower. Then if you want to say it's beautiful, then this has become your judgment, right? So then the consciousness, you have to have this consciousness to appreciate. You must have the I consciousness, must have the mind consciousness, you must have the sankhara, you have sankharing, feeling, perception, sankhara. So you must have this thing working for you. So you must have that consciousness. Then the Buddha says it's a factor that arises. You see this thing, 3 only, what, no? Nothing to me, right? So this is something that you won't hold on to, right? You won't hold on to these things. Then, this one, how much you score? I'd like to know.
Maybe 8.
8. So you know what you like. You like green, nice, very pleasant, pure. This one not too flowery, so gaudy, gross. So you say, this is a bit gross. So there's judgment here, right? So this is your preferences. This is your preferences. So this is preferences is individual, dependent on each person's conditioning. There must be somewhere in your life you're being conditioned to prefer this, right? So this is preferences. So these preferences is from feeling, perception, craving, clinging. So then of the two, you will choose this, right? If I ask you which one you take home, you choose this one, right? Okay. So then you see, you are already with it and in it already. This is how the factor. So the Buddha says the cows, they are bullock carts. One cow, one white cow and one black cow. The white cow and black cow, they are nothing, they are individually moving, you know. But what is the factor? The factor is the lust that holds them. Nothing wrong with this, no, green and yellow flower. Nothing wrong. It's your lust.
Vedana.
The lust, the lobha. The lobha. So that means it's the greed, yes, the sankhara, the liking, yes, the desire, the delighting in. So you delight, you fall on this. So this delighting, and this is the craving, because it's derived from liking it, liking that sense object. Whereas the Buddha says, seeing only. You just see it only. And then you just cognizing only. Then when you do this seeing, cognizing, then he says you will not be with it. When you are not with it, you are not in it. Then there is neither there nor here and nothing in between. So this is the teaching he gave to Bahiya. That you just see as seeing. You don't puncture. You don't proliferate. And then he says the mark of beauty is the characteristic for arising of lust. Lobha. Lust is such a quite crude word, right? So lobha, greed. Does it make it softer?
So Dr. Ng, like if we see the one, just now we say, I give 8 to the green one. Yes. The moment when I see, I perceive this is a flower, and I perceive it's beautiful, I like it. The Veda, where the somanasa feeling come up, so I like it. Is it called lobha already? Is it there's a greed there, or? And then when I see the yellow one, I say, oh, perception come, this is a flower, and I assess it as a not beautiful. I give number 3, then there is a hate there. There is a dosa there.
Oh, very subtle.
Very subtle. Very fast all come out together.
Yeah, very subtle. Yeah. So this very subtle, that's why picks GS.
So very is there subtle. Any way for us to prevent this from happening? Because the moment we see, we like, there is a lobha, we create another karma, you see. Or when we see, we don't like, we hate, we create a bad karma. Yeah. Can we stop there? We have a upekkha feeling that, so we don't create any bad karma or any good karma also.
So the Buddha says the mindfulness and clear comprehension. When you have mindfulness, you are detached, looking. Because when you have mindfulness, it's the first factor of enlightenment. When the first factor of enlightenment, when you are watching only, you also watch your mind, whether this mind has this moving forward or not, towards it. Then this you will watch your 4 foundations of mindfulness. So it's important to watch your mind, because your mind is the forerunner. and then the mind objects. So you see in your mind objects whether there is this lobha. So by this eye contact, you can see all that arises. Then he says this obsession, this is just one only, The number, the book of one, they say that the book of one, it says, nothing like the woman that obsessed the man's mind. It says because you can see, you can hear, you can smell, whatever, So that is a problem. So it is very difficult, for practitioners, especially the bhikkhus, like this is, so the sense objects, so they are said they have to be celibate.
Dr. thank you for this. Maybe the next question, can I ask about avijja and if we see the dependent origination, all start with avijja, ignorant. Can maybe Dr. Ng explain why after avijja, ignorant, they come out with sankhara? Can we see how is the link when there's avijja come, sankhara comes in? Can
Okay,
Dr. Ng
so we say ignorance and the 12 DO. First you have ignorance, right? Then we have sankhara. So what is ignorance? Ignorance is we don't know what we don't know. Right, we don't know we have all these problems. We don't know we have 3 and we don't know we have 8 until you are asked to examine 3 or 8. Right? So we don't know. So we don't know. So we want to attack on the things that we know. So we want to see intentions. We have to be very clear about our intentions. So the sankhara, by body, speech, or mind. So in body, speech, and mind, the actions prompted by yourself or prompted by another. When somebody keep droning into your ears, you might just do it. Either the government or your wife or your siblings or okay, you just follow. So the intentions are the intentions that you do have will lead to your suffering or happiness. So these intentions are very important. So the Buddha told Rahula, before you do something, think about it. During you do something, think about it. After you do, you reflect upon it. Then you say, this is afflictive or not. If it's afflictive, don't do. So it's always the mind that you have to be looking at. The mind and the mind objects. So these intentions, you have to be very clear. And you need to go into the quiet of your mind. You need to go to your breath. You are encountering the world, right? There's so many, daggers and swords and, arrows are all coming at you in all directions. But you have to stay steady in the midst of all these invisible, verbal, mental sort of darts. So you have to stay steady. How to stay steady is in your body. So people get lost in their mind. They just swept together with what's going on. But the Buddha says you have to stay steady. You ground yourself on the mind, on the body. So you're breathing in, you're steady. Then you must be familiar with the quiet in your mind. And then the thing is that you can always ground yourself. You may be looking at your adversary, but you are standing your ground. You are knowing your posture. Okay. If the adversary sees your posture all hunch, sure whack one. So you must note your posture, your grounding, your body, your activities. Whatever you are doing, you are mindful. So you are grounded on your mind, on your body. Then you look at your mind. But you can also be looking at your mind and see how it is moving. whether it's moving away, siam, must siam this person. Avoid evil is good, no? If you can avoid, but sometimes your boss you cannot avoid, right? Or your spouse you cannot avoid, right? So you have to be very steady. So you steady yourself in the body and in your mind. Then you will then be able to observe. What is the observing is just external sounds, sights. Right, most of the time it's sights and sounds. Because we interpret, we interpret, wow, the boss weather not very good today. But it's just maybe, nothing very much, Maybe it's just too sleepy or something like that. But we all interpret, We all sankara, papangche. Yeah, I won't get my pay rise already. Whatever it is. So we have to stay steady. So he says, don't cause yourself suffering. Noble Eightfold Path, don't cause yourself suffering. Okay, don't cause yourself suffering. Nyam, nyam, nyam. Then you must have right thoughts. What's the right thoughts? If you are thinking of having the pay rise or some sense pleasure, abandon it. Then you must have right thoughts, non-ill will to yourself. Must love yourself, don't suffer. Then he said, don't be cruel, okay? To yourself and others. So must right speech, action, livelihood, all right. Then right mindfulness, okay, looking. Okay. Right effort, must be nice. Your tone must be nice. When you get angry, your tone gets a bit up, I think. So anyway, right, mindfulness, concentration, and this effort, mindfulness, concentration. So the Noble Eightfold Path. Then it will cease this desire. You won't get, you don't have these effects. So it's just have to practice. Without all this, you don't know how strong you are. Without all these daggers and darts and arrows, you don't know how strong you are. But then you must also know your limit. Enough, enough. You don't get, you must know what is enough. There must be a limit, okay? So it doesn't eat into your practice or no. When it's like being unethical, then, no. Immoral, no. You must keep your virtues intact, your precepts intact. Because you have to answer to whatever. Nobody answer for you. You have to answer to yourself. So if it's unethical, don't do it. Don't be part of it. Okay? So this is just some simple ways of saying, don't get into the mess. So intentions is a way to look and how to ground yourself. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ng. Maybe anyone last question? Anyone?
Hi, Dr. Ng. In my quest to find what is Nirvana, I've been getting answers which are equivalent to like the 5 blind men describing the elephant. Do you have a more comprehensive and big picture of what exactly is Nibbana?
Nibbana means don't want. So when you want, then you won't get. So it says it comes to you, and then you know and you see. The thing is actually to look for your own craving. Because it's your craving, then it sort of obstructs. So the lobha, dosa, moha, the 5 hindrances, when the 5 hindrances are gone, then you see Nibbana. So the 5 hindrances are lobha, dosa, right? And then you have restlessness and worry, remorse. Then you also have sloth and torpor. And then you have doubt. So these are things that have to be overcome. Then when these are overcome, then you see Nibbana. This, as long as we don't overcome our problems, our defilements, we can't see Nibbana. Because the purity is there already. They say that, you know, the moon, the moon. So the moon is bright. And then the thing is the clouds. You can't, let's say Nibbana is the moon. Right? And then you want to see the moon. But there are so many dark clouds. So how to see the moon? So we have to purify, right? He says, avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. So when you say purify the mind, so we purify the defilements, then we can see the moon.
So do you cease to exist from this universe, in a sense?
Cease of craving, cessation of craving is the Nibbana, means cessation of craving. So this cessation of craving means Nibbana. So as long as we have craving, there's no Nibbana. Not even a little tinge of craving. Because the Buddha says, is a little feces smelly? You tell me? Is a little feces smelly? Smelly, right?
Yes, yes.
So that means a little craving is also smelly. So you can't see. It's all smelly. So you can't see. You know, it's all dark. So the how to overcome it is see your own hindrances, the mind objects. You must see your mind, you know, sticking to it, going for it, going for something. Right. So so with this is the Buddha says the end of craving, the cessation of craving. The cessation of craving is Nibbana. We have been craving in samsara, no? It's our like inheritance. But now we need to inherit the Buddha's legacy. Because this samsara is like sort of natural law like that. Because the natural law said we have to survive. We have to survive. We are in this world. We have to survive. Whatever world we are in, whatever realm we want to survive. So this survival instinct is very, very high. So this survival instincts of like craving for existence, craving for sense pleasures, craving is all part of this existence. Now we are going to the non-existence. It's not annihilation, but just annihilation of craving. It's the annihilation of craving. And then there's this word that Buddha said, apamada, amata pata. He says heedfulness is the way to deathlessness. It's the same thing as to Nibbana. So you must be very heedful, very mindful, and very clearly comprehending. You have the perception of impermanence and non-self most of the time, that it is like, you don't want to hold on to anything. This don't hold on to charcoal, burning charcoals. This is what he described. So when you are heedful, then you are in the deathless state.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu.